Right, good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, dropping a like on the video to help me reach a wider audience. And any comments or questions you may have, please leave them down below and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to talk about drip again today and some analysis I've been doing on the charts over the last couple of days. Someone mentioned something to me in one of the comments the other day and I realised I made a mistake in a previous video, so I thought I'd go back over it and redo it slightly. But before I do that, I'll start off by going through the cryptocurrency market as a whole. In my previous video I just mentioned that we've got market cap, we're still hovering above $1 trillion, which is in my opinion fairly bullish, even though we're down 0.23% across the market today. Bitcoin's still holding above $23,000. I say holding above, it pulled back to the 22,000 region yesterday, so we had a little nice push up. It is a fairly flat day. You can expect that sometimes in crypto. Nothing's really had any major moves. I was looking earlier. 24-hour trading volume nearly $45 billion, Bitcoin dominance 42.5%. As I was saying, there's not really much movement across the market. This DYDX is the only one that's had any major moves. Phantom's doing all right, but it does appear to be a fairly flat day. The gaming tokens continue to do quite well, but there's nothing major to speak of in terms of price action across the board. If we go to the drip network page, you can see it's dropped down another 3%. It's saying it's 42 cents on here, although I wouldn't, I don't know, it doesn't really correlate to the native DEX. I'll go there and have a look in a minute. What's the sentiment? Drip is either undervalued or massively or highly overvalued. There is no in between. I'm willing to bet on the latter. You're welcome to do what you want. I think I've read some of these. Yeah, a lot of people they're getting tired of the shark not actually doing anything. I know he was active in Telegram the other day and apparently he's had food poisoning or whatnot, but supposedly he's got a team of developers, so the lack of anything happening, I don't really see how one man getting food poisoning can. Anyway, it's not just down to me. I'm not going to be overly critical of people or YouTubers, but I am seeing a lot of people. Actually, what I am noticing is a lot of these people are saying that something needs to be done. A lot of these drip YouTubers who have always been very positive are saying, look, something needs to be done now, because people are starting to lose hope. So that the tide is turning, even for like the maxis, the people that believe that the shark can do no wrong. They are starting to realise that things are looking pretty bleak at the moment. So if we go to the app, I haven't compounded because I'm still in two minds as to what to do. And like I said, it's not a massive amount of money I've got in drip. I've got 2,556 tokens. I've got 121 I could compound, but with price action as it is, I'm sat on the fence as to what I should do. So what's the price saying here? Sorry, my computer's being quite slow. Right, so 0.039. Let me just go through my paperwork. It was 40 cents yesterday. The day before it was 41, so we're dropping a cent a day. What were we? We were 49 cents last Friday. And let's go back to last Monday. So last Monday we were at 52 cents. So it's down, well, over 10 cents, 13 cents down in a week, which even if you consider your 1% a day compound interest, you're not really getting anywhere. You're trading water and sinking at the same time. So it's not brilliant. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to educate people and show things from a slightly different point of view, because as I continually say, people are quite myopic and blinkered when it comes to this protocol, because they know that people have made a lot of money out of it in the past, and they like to think, which is why I got into the project. Don't get me wrong, I'm in the same boat as you. I got into this project in the hope that I would make a lot of money out of it. It's not panned out that way, but it is what it is. So what I've done, the other day I was doing something about the percentage down. I was saying where the price would go to, and I got my mathematics wrong, because I never script my videos. I just just straight off the top of my head. So just like 10 minutes ago, I went through the drip chart. I went back to the 1st of September and to the 1st of October. So I'm going to go through the percentage decline in price on each individual month and see where we're at. So between September and October, the price fell 13%. So we fell from $7.42 to $6.43. Between the 1st of October and the 1st of November, we even had that little pump there. I believe that was when the buybacks or something started. We had, I might be wrong as we move along, we had a 24% drop in price. Okay, now moving along, between the 1st of November and the 1st of December, we fell 68%, 68.77%, which is a fairly sizable drop. No, I don't care what you say, that's a big drop. Okay, now, so that's up to December. Right, so from the 1st of January to the 1st of February, we fell a further 43%. So we're currently sitting on the trading view at 42 cents. So we'll pretend it's 42 cents, even though it's 39. So what I've done, I've projected the next 3 months, and I've conservatively said we drop 40% a month. This is saying no utility comes in, because there's nothing on the horizon. There's a lot of talk and not a lot of stuff happening. So potentially on the 1st of March, we could be sitting at 26 cents. Okay, it's like, that's not too bad. Okay, we drop another 40%. We could be sitting on the 1st of April at 15 cents. Now this is when things get a bit more interesting. On the 1st of, of May, we could drop another 40% and we'll be sitting at 0.09 cents. Now that is not a lot. If this is what could potentially happen should no innovation come to this project. I don't see how the new UI will make people want to onboard. It will make people that are in drip think, oh, that's good, something's happening. That's the only thing I think that can do. But if we're being honest with ourselves, this doesn't look very attractive, does it? Like the level of price depreciation since September is quite frankly an abomination. So we've got these scratchies that we've been hearing about probably for a year now, but there's no sign of that coming along. The new UI, as I've already mentioned, was supposedly coming from memory between the 15th and 20th of January. We're now in February, nothing's happened there. The fiat on and off ramp, which I could see being potentially helpful, but with the price like it is, if a seasoned investor comes along and says, oh, I can put my fiat on and get my fiat off, which they'll say, great, it's easy for me to, enter and exit a protocol. But anyone with half a brain before they enter a project, I'm not saying everyone will, but if I'm going to enter a project, I'm going to look at the chart first. And if people look at this chart, even though people have told me in the past charts don't matter in this project, they clearly do. If I'm looking at this chart and thinking, oh great, I can put my fiat on and take fiat off the table rather. I'm looking at this chart and thinking, well, I'm making 1% a day. How much fiat am I going to be able to take off? I put $100 in. What's my $100 going to be worth 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months from now? It's not like, it doesn't look like a good investment, does it? And I think even the maxis are starting to turn. I'm not going to name any of them. You've probably watched their videos. One of them's still not having it. He was talking about, I found it quite incredible yesterday. This morning I watched his video. I don't know why I give him the time of day. It's just something I do while I'm making my cup of tea and whatnot, doing my stretching. He was saying that people have got the wrong mindset when it comes to their investments in animal farm. They're not in animal farm and drip. They've got completely the wrong mindset. Well, in my opinion, he's the one with the wrong mindset. Despite the size of his drip and animal farm accounts, he could take a lot more money off the table than he is. Because for me, drip is, I don't know, it's just in free fall. I'm not being mean, I'm not being unkind, this is just what I see. I'll get dislikes, I'll get some abuse in the comments about how drip is the king of DeFi and whatnot, but if you want to argue with me about price and where it's headed, then you're banging your head against a brick wall and making yourself look a bit silly. If you believe I am wrong, feel free to make content about it. Like, you can tell me where the reversal pattern is in this chart. You can show me, like, that was the day of the buybacks. But do you see anything here that suggests a reversal of some kind? I'll point out one thing. I'll point out we've got a bullish divergence from this low to this low. Okay, but there's nothing, no pattern in the chart. Say we made like a lower low, and then we made a, next day we closed above it, we pushed up. Then we could have a half a setup, and then we closed above it again with the divergences. Then there's potential for a push up, but there's nothing here at all. See that there could have been a setup there. It closed above it, and then there it just met resistance and hit the wall and just fell again. So I'll be interested to see what happens with what's his name, LD. And fair play to the bloke. He's trying to do something positive. He's not just there spouting and talking bollocks. He is actually putting a lot of work in to try and make this project a success. And bless him, I hope it works for him, for everyone. You know, I know he's working hard, and he's going to deposit some BNB, I believe, into the reservoir today. So we'll see if that causes any price appreciation. But personally, I don't think it should be down to him to be doing stuff like that. I respect the man for doing it, but time will tell. I shall be watching his live deposit. I believe he's going live to do it later on today. But a lot of the other people, they're actually starting to state things aren't looking good now. You know, they need to start doing something, because they say they're getting a lot of hate, a lot of FUD, and basically I think they've reached a point where they can only take so much of defending the indefensible, if you know what I mean. They can only say, oh, innovation's around the corner, I know the developer's great, I know this is coming, I know that's coming. You're just spreading FUD, because I can see in their own eyes they do have fear, uncertainty and doubt. So not only have they got their own worries or uncertainty about the project, they're there all day making content and talking to people on Telegram, trying to shut these people up that are going to be far more vocal about their issues with the project. So I am starting to, my viewpoint has changed to one of like, whether I've mocked these people in the past or said they're naive investors and not very sophisticated investors, to the point where I sympathise with them, and I feel a little bit sorry for them that they've got themselves into this position, and then without much support from the developer. I believe that the community, there is a community here, but I believe the community is being let down. I don't really want to go on much longer. I just wanted to show you that about price depreciation and what could potentially happen, which is why I'm unsure about whether or not to start taking some money off the table, because I genuinely believe at this moment, if you can break even on drip, then you've done quite well out of it. To all of you that made money and made a lot of money out of it, I very, very well done. You've done incredibly well out of this project, and you should be proud of yourselves. Genuinely mean that. You've done really well. Not many people do well in DeFi projects, only the very early investors. So if you were one of those and you did take money off the table, because I know a lot of people didn't take the money off the table, they just kept, it's like with Bitcoin. I know people that bought Bitcoin in the last bear market sub 10 grand. They rode it all the way up to nearly 70 grand and just watched it, and they must have had, well, these people they're talking about, they had 3 or 4 or 5 Bitcoin, and so they're talking about they had hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they've watched it come down, and it's like they're almost like they don't understand, like they had so much money in unrealized gains. Had they taken that money off the table, they could have bought back in again now when it almost went to 10,000. Like that's just what I'm talking about. Unsophisticated investors, they don't, they sort of, all I can say to them is, well, congratulations for holding on to all-time highs. What do you have to say for it? I think I've mentioned before, I held I'm not going to say the amount, but several Ethereum that I picked up at $200, like quite a number of Ethereum, when it was really down in the dumps prior to the last bull run, and I sold 50% of them when it went to $2,000. Now I know I think it went to 4,000, but I was happy. If I got out, I got in at 200 and got out at 2,000. That bought me, I spent $15,000 profit on my garden. I got it completely returfed, flattened and returfed for £15,000 I spent £15,000 on a new bathroom, all paid for by crypto, because I took money off the table. That's what some people need to realise. Like in investing, there's no shame in taking profits. Holding on to all-time highs is great, but you're going to look back with a lot of regret. That's why I believe that when Bitcoin, there's a lot of people that are underwater on Bitcoin. They'd have bought in at 69 grand, and when it gets back to 69 grand, they're going to sell and just want to stay out of crypto forever. It's a funny old world. I'll do another video about that. I'm going off on a tangent now, but you got to have your mindset right in this game, this business. Excuse me, but yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there because I always start to ramble at the end of videos. I've got so many thoughts in my head. But as you can see, like 48% drop, 43% drop in the last 2 months. Prior to that, it was a much bigger drop, I believe. Yeah, 68%. It's not good, really, is it? So I'm not being mean, spreading FUD. I'm just talking facts. Actually, I think I'll call this video "Facts, Not FUD." And yeah, I've inspired myself there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it for there. I wish you all a wonderful afternoon and evening. And yeah, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so, because I will provide updates on this project and other cryptocurrency projects I'm involved in. Drop a like on the video. It really helps me out. It gets me to a wider audience so more people can learn and be educated to a certain extent. And any comments, questions, or even abuse, because I'm used to it now, please leave it down below and I will respond to you. Maybe not today because the schools are on strike, so I'm a bit pressed for time today. I've got to take my oldest son to football training this evening, so I'll go through comments tonight about 8 o'clock-ish. Yeah, I'll leave it for there. So have a wonderful afternoon and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now, guys. Cheers.